Welcome to episode 3 of Ostranauts. We're going to pick up right where we left off. We just checked out our honka-junk of a ship, and we're going to head on deeper into the station and learn what's available for us that we can scavenge or beg, borrow, or steal in order to help us with our new career as a shipbreaker, possibly with some additional unsavory aspects to our as a sideline. When it's time to take a break, we can come in here, we can watch TV. This is useful because it gives you things to talk about with folks, like recent headlines. Yeah, cancel that and move on out. Now, right here, we can talk. This is kind of the last thing we always want to do before we leave the station. Um, we can use the fuel kiosk to top up our gases for breathing and for propulsion, and top up our battery. You know, electricity is actually relatively cheap. Oxygen and nitrogen, not so much so. Everything else is irrelevant right this moment, but eventually, once we leave the station and come back, we'll start getting dockage fees by the hour. Now, we can't interact with this yet because we need to purchase the license in order to do that. The basic license is $500 and is good for 24 hours. You need to have it on you while you're out in the boating yard if you don't want to risk being arrested, and you have to have it to say it expires and you immediately come home like a good person. You would actually have to purchase another one in order to uh, go ahead and sell the things you've just purchased or just scrapped to the kiosk. Now, we can also, without the license, interact with this kiosk, but anything we sell to that, we're probably not going to get as good a price and we not buy a lot of things that we want to sell. But we can also get some things like that one piece of wall that was a currently a patch. We can potentially uh, find a replacement for that and purchase it, and you know, maybe not that one, but this is a more reasonable price. We can also potentially purchase something like this, which is very interesting, and there's two available for purchase. Um, this is worth a couple $1,000 in good shape. Now, we're probably going to need to spend some money to get it in good shape, but it's a relatively low price item that we know that we can get, we can sort of upgrade right here on the station and turn around and sell again. Uh, a treadmill would be incredibly useful to have installed on the ship because it will help us improve our physical fitness. We could also, again, buy the damaged one, do the do the upgrades on it, and turn it back in for considerably more than the 2,500 we're being asked to pay for it here. Uh, it's good to know what things should cost if they're in good shape, and what, so that, for instance, like this towing brace, if you find one damaged, it's probably going to be a fraction of that price. Also, if we want to repair damage, we may need some of these components like a motor or a motherboard. And you see, like, the spare screen is not cheap, but the other items are relatively inexpensive. We can also get small bits to do repairs that might be needed in the repairs as well. We're going to see what we can scrounge first before we do any purchases. And we're also getting a message that this person, who's literally right over there in the corner of the screen, kind of behind my portrait. So move down a little bit so that they will appear when I float over their name. See, highlights them for us. Still not visible. There he is. Okay. Sebastian has something he would like us to do. So ask about his research project. He wants 20 scrap carbon fiber. Now, we can break certain things down to get carbon fiber. We can find them laying around, either in a ship or on the station. It's one of the things we're going to try to do right now. Tell him later. And he's probably mostly going to be in this general area, but we can find him elsewhere in the station just by looking up his name. We will get information about where he is. Now, this right here is going to become very useful to us because it's going to let us make some money to buy some basics before we head out. So, wants us to go from Old Emporium, which we're heading to next anyway, to the commercial. We've got 20 seconds to do that from the moment we grab it from here. And this is actually a hard one to get the full payout because the distance from the gig nexus to the transit station and commercial is quite far. So we're not going to try that on our first go around. See what the next one is. This time again from commercial, so maybe not the best, but coming back here. So we might do that one at some point. Again, we probably can really only count on the gold tier payout, which is the 40 seconds, a little over $1,100. Okay, this is not on the station. This is a nav beacon. So we're not, and you can see it's quite distant. So we're not going to do that one right now. This is in orbit of Venus, so over an astronomical unit away. We're not going to be doing that one right now either because our ship doesn't even have a torch drive. Commercial to Old Emporium. Again, we don't like that commercial option because of the distance. This might be a good one to grab just before we head out. We've got about 45 on our first trip out. Got about 45 minutes to get it done. If we think we can make the 1,000 kilometers and get back with our hunk of junk, maybe our second trip might be the better, but it would give us a good payout. Another 45-minute one, which is nice with a good payout, but it's quite distant, less distant than the one we were just looking at, so maybe a better option even with our current setup. He's on Venus, so we're not going to be making it there anytime soon. From commercial, all these, they want us to go from, okay, so I think we're back in the loop here. Okay, so none of these we're going to do right this second, although when we get over to commercial, we may pick one up. In the meantime, I'm just going to quickly look around this way. And if we think we can risk it, maybe do a little safety save first. We're gonna hack this door because there's fun things back here. Now, you can sort of cheese this a little bit by hitting pause. Now, it's warning us that we may be committing a crime, we could go to jail, but I'm not going to hit pause. I'm going to, and we managed to do this without anybody getting a line of sight on us. So now we can get back here where things will get a little easier. We're going to repeat. A little safer back here because people aren't as likely to wander in. Turn our handy light on, which is looking like it could use a little love and tender loving care. Also, it's telling us we can hit the X to see how worn out things around us are. Now, this is lovely because it's sort of a dead end area, so we don't. And once we're in here, even though we had to hack our way in, which is illegal, we're not going to get in trouble for anything we do in here, including just take this stuff. So we've got some carbon fiber, which is the thing that we need to deliver to Sebastian in order to pick up some money. Some aluminum, some small electronic parts. These are all things we could have purchased, but hey, I'd much rather just find them laying around. And so some more small mechanical parts. We're going to need a bigger backpack. Probably make it better ship, bigger ship as well. More scrap carbon fiber, a little scrap steel, some more small mechanical parts. I'm just going around the thing. Now, this one is quite damaged and we can't actually just open it and look, but we've got that crowbar, so it only slows us down for a second. So that's going to be it for that stack. There's the steel, some more trash. If you're wondering why I'm even bothering with the trash, when I clean out an area, I try to do it completely so that I know that I've dealt with that area. And also the trash actually has a nominal value. Now, I'm not actually going to pick it up and take it away with me, but I'm going to get it out here visible. It's more of that lovely scrap carbon fiber we need. Some more aluminum. And some more mech parts, giving us another full stack of those. Pry this one open as well. Just finish emptying this area out. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this right now. Normally, again, I'm a complete loop goblin, so I would clean out this entire area. But we are going to keep looking long enough to find the carbon fiber we need. We need 20, so we need 8 more. 6 more carbon fiber. I don't know if we'll get there. And we did. So, oh, I just stepped far enough over that I can't see it anymore. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick that up. We're going to just leave everything else as is. We only got one more to go, so I'm at least going to get it out on the ground. And we picked up a very useful uh, tool that replaces that junk screwdriver, and actually a second stir welder, which has no battery and is not really in that much better condition, but it's something we could potentially sell. So we'll hold on to that. Potentially going to need this to repair some things, so we're going to hold on to that as well. A little more scrap carbon fiber, so we're going to keep stacking that up. Uh, Remember I said that we might need to replace a piece of floor and a piece of wall. May not be the matching floor and wall, but it's better than nothing. So I'm gonna grab these. Now the wall will actually have to drag, so we're not gonna do it right this second. But the piece of floor we can just stick right in here. We can even stack if we need to. Now, now that we've got the friction welder, I don't think we need the hacksaw. The welder itself is a cutting tool. We've got another area that we're going to want to explore here. Uh, let's just go ahead and hack that door real quick. Thing is, once you unlock these doors, unless you relock them behind you, uh, people will start wandering into these areas. So this door has the power out, and we don't have a piece of conduit to put in here without ripping one out from somewhere, which we want to avoid for now. Also got another little area up here, which is a mechanical area. These are actually quite pricey. So if we needed one or we're desperate to sell one, we could dismantle the station. But on general principle, even though I'm planning to play this character as relatively unprincipled, damaging the life support of the station you're living on seems like a really bad idea. So, not going to do that. This is actually the transit shuttle right here. We interact with it with the little kiosk here. When we come back, we will appear here with a little map. It's worth checking in these areas. There are little lockers and things. We might find more useful tools so we don't have to buy them. And I'd also just spot things on the ground that we could use, like a heat sink. Or remember I mentioned that those are quite expensive. Floor tile, not so much. And now, although I know that antibiotics are basically worthless, I still want to check to see what's in there because it could be something else. Put it on the ground though to pick up later. Thank you, Mr. Otto. So there's a additional drill. It doesn't have a battery, but it's in better shape than the one we've got. So we're gonna grab that one. And unfortunately, these won't stack, so I'm just gonna leave that one there for now. Actually, let's see what's in here. Okay. So the things that are most valuable, go ahead and pop into that toolbox. Now we're off to explore another section of the station. Oh, actually, we've got the 20 carbon fiber that Sebastian is asking us for. So I'm gonna walk over here and talk to Sebastian. Deliver 20 carbon fiber. It's not carrying it yet. Sure we are. So maybe it means we don't literally have it in our hand. No. Accidentally left some on the floor. Be right back. Okay, now we have the 20. Just unlock these items that we need immediately. Sebastian. There we go. Okay, so we delivered the 20 carbon fiber. The primary reason why we wanted to do this is because it's effectively free for us to do it, and he's going to ask for other things in the future which might be increasingly valuable. So we also could take some time to befriend him, which might lead to other interactions. But for now, he'll reach out if he needs something else. So I do want to say later, just to be polite. And now we're going to go visit another section of the station, continue to explore our world. I'm going to save that for the next episode, so come back for part 4.